Hey, welcome back to episode 4. We've made 4 in a row. 4 in a row. I made it on time and sober and here. This week I have it's a good guest. It's a fun guest. Uh, I don't even know how to introduce him. I worked with him actually on a line at an Irish pub in State College, Pennsylvania. I didn't really even know anybody that worked there except one guy, but he was kind of like not my style at all. So Jake Thompson, who's here with us today, he came in and started playing some music, and obviously we like the same music and became friends. Jake's a musician. He's a chef. He runs a retirement or an old folks home. Nick, can we bring Jake in whenever you're ready, brother? My man,
What's up?
what's up, dude? How you been?
Good.
Good. What's new? Anything?
No, just living the geriatric dream, my friend.
Yes, yes, yes. So I was telling everybody that you and I worked that miraculous, awesome line at Kildare's Irish Pub in State College, Pennsylvania. Wasn't those good
hmm
times?
The finest shit show known to man.
Oh my God, yeah. Like, and it's so funny because, like, were you ever there when it was the Hooters before the building?
No,
Oh, see, like I was. So, like, I could, like, it was just funny to me. Like, you know what I mean? Because remember the back wall was still painted, it still said Hooters on
because
it
they
the
just put
entire.
up like a plywood partition and threw some
Yeah, that's exactly what.
cold tables against
That's
it.
what
It
they.
was like that's where we worked.
Yeah, dude, there was the wall still said Hooters the entire time
Yeah,
we worked there. Yeah.
I used to have to crawl behind there to clean it because I
Oh,
was the
oh
only
my.
one skinny enough to get behind it.
That was one of the worst lines I think I've ever worked just because it dead end at the fryer.
Yeah,
Like you couldn't go, you know what I mean? You couldn't go out on both sides of the line. So like
no,
everybody was shuffled in. And then like if somebody had to come out of that son of a bitch, like, that place was a nightmare sometimes.
no,
Yeah, that
no. It was probably the hottest kitchen I've ever worked in.
for sure. For that, yeah.
Probably up there. Um, and just the whole there was no flow, like,
No.
to bring a thing of french fries down, you had to walk past three guys all going back and forth.
That's what I mean. Like I was usually on the fryer there. You run out of wing, whatever, and you're trying to get past this guy, the sous guy, the whatever. You know what I mean? And it's just what a nightmare, what a nightmare. But obviously, this is like the music, whatever, bass podcast. But we're just gonna do whatever the hell we want tonight. Like I talked
Sure.
to you earlier. We wrote down random questions, asked each other about punk rock, not like
hmm
random weird questions like everybody would expect. Well, weird, but not too weird.
I don't know, I thought the ones we came up with were mildly on
No,
topic
we did
and
no,
not completely
no, we did good.
debaucherous. I think
No,
for us we did really good.
we did. That's what I was gonna say. For us, like we didn't even go. I don't even think our mind went completely into the gutter at all.
No, I thought, maybe my kid will watch this or something,
Yeah,
so I'll keep it sort of
yeah. That's
on point.
that's what I was saying to you earlier. I'm like, we just can't be like trash mouthing like you're on a line. And you're like, well, I've kind of grown up, and I'm thinking, yeah, I'm not that same guy either. I can be if needed, but I
It
try.
can be. I
Yeah,
have it in my
yeah,
have
yeah,
it in my bag, but
yeah. I try not to
yeah.
pull it out really. Yeah.
No, it's not a good look.
No, it's really not. It's weird how growing up sucks. But it's fun at the same
Sometimes,
time.
some of it. I
No,
think some of it's fun.
I'm enjoying it now. Like,
I think growing up, like I don't think it's fun all the time, but the things I was scared about it when I was a kid, I've learned aren't scary. Does that make sense?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It doesn't
absolutely.
make it fun, but it doesn't. The things I was scared of aren't like
Right.
scary.
Yeah, that's not, it wasn't really anything to be worried about.
Right.
So listen, when you were in these bands, I had them written down and I lost the page. Actually, I just found it. Look at that. That's perfect. Where are you originally from?
So I moved around when I was a kid
That's what I thought.
until I was like in fourth grade,
Okay.
and my parents settled outside of Harrisburg,
Okay, that's
a
what I
little town
thought.
called New Cumberland, Pennsylvania, across the river.
All right. Okay. Okay. Okay.
And there was two things as I grew up. There was two things that made New Cumberland cool. There was a skate park called Voodoo Skatepark. It was run by some old semi-pro vert skater. There was a 13-foot gorgeous vert ramp, and then
Oh
he
shit.
built like a street park and a BMX park. BMX was real big, Dave Mira era,
Yeah. Yeah.
late
Yeah.
'90s, early 2000s. So he built that and was able to make a living until he went to federal jail for selling too much weed. Um, And then the skate park kind of became abandoned, but they never tore it down, so we would break in and go skate anyway.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then there was a little club off of Third Street called the Wire, and they got I'll say national touring acts, but small, like big wig
Oh,
type
dude.
size bands.
Yeah.
So like legally, according to the fire department, we probably could have put 60 people in there. We'd show up 200. I mean, it was literally just like a bottom floor of a store
Yeah.
that we would just pack as many kids in. And I ended up going to shows there in high school and then working there after
Oh, no shit.
working there.
Well, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't get paid, but I got to see bands for free if I sat at the
That,
counter and took people's money.
that's payment to me.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was great. But those are the two things that just, kind of shaped where I went,
Yeah. Cause I mean,
if you want to call it that.
right. Well, like just around here, like all, well, like, did you ever, were you around State College when the Crowbar was around at all?
I came up to see a couple shows there. I think we saw Agnostic Front there.
Okay.
There was like a whole New York hardcore. It might have been Agnostic Front, Madball,
I think I was at that show, to be
um,
honest with you.
and then that would have been like early
2000s.
2000
Yeah. I actually,
something.
yeah.
And then I came up. I think I was with an ex girlfriend and her friends, and we came up to Flyer. I came up to Flyer, but it was a census fail, Taking Back Sunday, brand new show.
Okay.
I remember very specifically because all those bands ended up blowing up like
Right
huge. And
afterward.
Brand New was the opener of that show. And they ended up probably being the biggest band out of all three of them, you could argue. And they went into the show. I didn't want to pay the $20 because I didn't know those bands. I didn't have a problem with them, but I didn't know them.
Hmm.
And I didn't want to pay $20. So I stood outside and hung out, and knowing me, probably drank a 40 in the car.
Yeah.
And then that was when you flyered after shows. Like even if you didn't go to this show, you stood outside and handed out flyers
Yeah.
because that's the best way to get
Yeah.
as
Like,
many people as you could
especially at that
pre-internet.
time. Yeah.
So that's the two times I was at the Crowbar before
Yeah.
I ended up living there.
Well, you were saying about like, them blowing up right after. I have a friend actually, yeah, the Alien Ant Farm. I forget who was even playing, but Alien Ant Farm opened for them. And my buddy
Okay.
ended up getting on. We had to actually leave him there because he went on a tour bus with Alien Ant Farm, and like we're like sitting around State College till like 4:35 in the morning, and like he's still on the tour bus smoking weed with these guys all night, dude. And like 2 weeks later, that Smooth Criminal cover came out, and like boom, you know what I mean? And it was just like you were just with these guys like 2 weeks ago. Like it was weird.
Right.
But like Bigwig, like you mentioned, that was one of my first bands I saw at the Crowbar. I saw the Misfits very first band I saw at the Crowbar, but like after that Bigwig, and I always remember Bigwig because like the dude came, there's whoever was drumming for him at the time came out, soaked his whole drum set, lighter fluid, lit that son of a bitch, and played the first two songs with the whole thing on fire. And I was just like, how the hell can't you like this? You know what I mean? Like this is crazy.
I remember I'd heard of Bigwig and I liked their music, but meeting bands is something that as I've gotten older, I have, and after working at that place, I don't want to do
It's
because
hard.
they were assholes.
Yeah, dude.
Like, I'm not saying they are assholes, but that show, that day,
They
in
will.
that moment with us, we were running a DIY little like crap hole corner place.
Right.
And we never advertised it as any more than that. There was no green room. There was no place to go get a shower. There was no, it just, there was no bar.
Right.
It was just a coffee shop
Ye-
and a space to, and we had a PA,
Yeah,
an
well,
empty
that's
room.
the guy I had on last week. That's what he's running now. Same deal. It's like,
But that's all it was. And I think they were a little bigger than that, or felt that they were at the time.
okay,
And they just were pissed that this is where they were at. They played the show. They had a contractor. They agreed to come, and they were there, and they wanted paid. But they were just dicks, and they were just not really respecting the space. And they were like out front drinking. Like it's in a residential neighborhood.
I
Like
got you.
we had to end our shows by like 10.
Yeah,
And I just remember they were just the biggest assholes.
yeah.
That's what I took away from that show. They probably played great, for all I know.
Well,
Couldn't
like,
tell you.
like I've grown up biggest Pantera fan. You know what I mean? So I go to the Crowbar and I see Superjoint because I never got to see Pantera. So I see Superjoint because I'd never seen Phil live. You've got to see Phil. They were awesome there. I covered cocaine and stuff like that. Like just awesome show. So that summer I go to Ozfest and it's like it was Superjoint, Slayer, Judas Priest, and original lineup of Black Sabbath headlining. It was awesome. But
That's awesome.
yeah, but Superjoint comes out. He plays 2.5 songs, threw down his mic, and said, "Pittsburgh, you guys suck," and walked off stage, dude. And it forever changed my opinion on that guy. Forever. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? And like you said about meeting him, I've definitely met like guys in bands where I was like, man, you kind of, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think I like you as much anymore. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? It kind of just,
And that's what I don't want. Like I like
no, these are my
my
heroes.
music, and I don't want to have a different opinion of them. I want to be able to hear these songs, and it takes me to wherever it takes me. I don't want to think about the fact that they're actually a dick.
No, no, like, that there was, I met a lot of them. Like, I hung out with Nate Maxwell from Flogging Molly for a little bit. The best one was my buddy Jafar and I. We were going to see Me First and the Gimme Gimmes and Master Intruder and the Pairs, I think. But we're sitting in for Manny Brothers, and in walks in Aaron Burkett and Joey Cape. And I have Ramon's shirt on. Jared, I think, had a Hawaiian shirt on. Obviously, it's a Gimme show. Sit
Mhm.
down right beside us and had dinner with us, dude. And like, Joey was cool as shit, signed our tickets, like, and then he was on stage, points at me and like made the like, he's eating a sandwich, very cool. But,
No, you like to see that. You hope that's how they're going to be.
yeah, like I was
I'd
very
like to
happy.
think that when I played out of town, that I was not that I was ever in a band that was of any notoriety, but I'd like to think that we were that way. Or you like, at least talk to people like just another person.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I also think it's important to realize that besides probably two or three bands in our community, even the biggest bands to you and me aren't big. Let's
No,
be real honest.
no,
They're
dude,
not big.
no.
They're probably working a real job right now because they can't tour.
Yeah, dude.
So
Actually, I talked to a couple of these guys who work the real job. Like, actually, the end music of this show, Eric Butow, he fills in for bass for Guttermouth. He plays bass in Jughead's Revenge, a band called Fourth in Line, which is the music at the end of the show. He's an interior designer during the day. Like,
right.
and then they're all like that, for the most part, unless you are a Fat Mike, or you know what I mean. But I
Right.
mean, he's pretty much the head of the top of the echelon as far as.
He is, him and, probably Brett.
Yeah, yeah, Brett Gerwitz, yeah,
And
for
I mean,
sure.
you're talking the top, but like everybody else,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like they're a big deal to you and me and a lot of other people, but they're not fucking Bono.
No, no, and
Like
like,
they're just not. So like having that attitude, I see as being completely undeserved. Not that Bono deserves to be a dick if he is, but like
but no,
I could see why that could be that way.
right,
Like
right.
I can't see why the guy in Bigwig thinks he's a
Something, right.
bigwig.
But yeah,
See what I
because
did there?
yeah, I actually yeah, but my cousin's, girlfriend actually told me one time, she's like, "You make people that aren't that famous, like, seem like they're the most famous people in the world to you." And I'm like, "Well, to me, they are," you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, if, let's say Scott Shiflett from Face to Face walks by or Bono walks by, like, I'll punch Bono in the face to get the Sky, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's just
Would it be cool to meet Bono? Sure.
yeah, yeah,
Because I could say I
absolutely.
met Bono.
But I
But
would
would I much rather sit down with, Tim and Lars and
ri
Matt and just like tell them whatever meant to me and like ask them where their headspace was when they wrote blah 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 and
yeah,
whatever, I would 10 out of 10 times pick that experience over meeting somebody else.
right, right. And I don't know, well, where, like, how it is around here, so everybody's, like, country heads too, so I'm, like, this weird guy that listens to this weird music that nobody's ever heard of any of these weird bands, and it
Right.
it's a struggle sometimes, but it's kinda cool too, because I don't like to be a cookie cutter asshole.
It's kind of, I've noticed as I gotten older, it's hard to explain to people like what punk and hardcore are.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Like people, you say hardcore and people are like hardcore rap, hardcore
wrestling.
met. Like what are they wrestling? Like what are you talking about? And then they say punk, and I don't know. I've gotten everything from like being a dickhead
Yeah,
as to what they think punk is to
right,
like, oh, you like the Ramones.
yeah,
Well, yes, I do,
right.
but
That's
that's
not
really the
tip.
you know
Yeah, you're just, yeah, you're not even getting into anything there.
right.
Yeah, no. Like, no, like, even with my fucking hair color, yeah, like, doing this yesterday, like, walking down the street and shit, you just swear to God my head was on fire, like, just, like, I don't know, I hate the mentality of, like, small town country, like, I'm ready to get the hell out of here.
It's all I wanted to do when I was a kid, and then I did get out, and I ended up wanting to find not my hometown, but a hometown of my own.
And that's
I'll
what
be honest.
no, and that's what I
Like,
wanna do, man, like, I do, I wanna make somewhere else my like, you know what I mean? Like you
yeah,
said, just because, like, I like it here, but at the same time, like, I'll always be like Jimmy the Jimmy the druggie or Jimmy whatever, no matter how
right.
successful or
You
anything I
live
am.
by your past,
Exactly.
whatevers.
Yep. Yeah, whatever you did in your 20s basically is stuck with you for the rest of your life, and it's not that way, not at
It's
all.
not in our own heads. It's not that way, but to other people, that
Assume.
that's all they see.
Yeah, yeah, they just, they don't even talk to you, they just see you, and then, like, that's what you get. So, do you wanna start these questions?
Sure.
Alright. Do you wanna go
All right.
first, or do you want me to go first?
You can go
Do you
first.
wanna take turns?
Yeah, it's fine. We can go back and forth. We can
Yeah,
have
okay.
dueling questions.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be like dueling banjos,
I
but
know.
literary.
Yeah, and way lamer.
Way lamer.
It is nice to see you, by the way, I missed you.
You too, buddy.
Yeah, for real. It's been like
Nice for you to have a normal hair color instead of like brown. I
Thanks.
would have been really weirded out if it was
I
just like Jimmy with brown hair.
honest to God, too, and like I was saying, they're like, they're like, as weird as it is, they're like, it's you. Like, like, they're like, if somebody was gonna have naturally blue hair, like, you would. Like, I don't know. I
It
don't know.
makes sense to me.
It makes sense to me, too. Like, it should just grow this way. It would be a lot fucking cheaper, that's for sure.
It'd be a lot easier.
Yeah.
Although I was impressed that you went to a salon.
First time in 12 years.
I just expected to see some Instagram post with an empty bottle of Manic Panic and
No, I was
like, your sink completely destroyed, because that would make more sense.
No, and it would, and that's what everybody expected, and that's what I did for the last 12 years. I literally, like, would shave my head and let it grow back and, and fuck with it, dye it, manic panic, whatever, and, like, this time I was just like, "I'm going to get a real haircut," and the last time I got, like, a actual haircut was by this same lady, and she still calls to this day the greatest mohawk she ever did, and it was a big-ass green mohawk. So this time I was like, "We're gonna do this fucker blue," but I'm like, "It's gotta be darker in these glasses because I don't wanna look like one big thing here," you know what I mean?
Mohawks are so much work.
I know, I know.
It's
They
so much
really are.
work.
It is for like something you'd think that's, oh, that's low maintenance. The hell it is. Spike
It
that
is.
shit every day.
That's why I was a skate punk for so long. We're the laziest of the punks.
I know.
Like even the crust kids put more time and effort. All that stuff they put on, like all those belts,
Yeah.
their hair's all crazy. Like they spent all this time, and the oi kids are like looking real sharp. Their pants are pressed, and perfect 3 rolls, and their braces, and
The
you know
Francis.
everybody else is putting all this time and effort. Skate punks, we
Yeah, we just showed up. What we wore
just
three.
showed up,
Yeah.
and if we showered in the last 3 days,
Yeah.
that was our accomplishment.
Right. Right. We got something done.
Right. That
That,
was it.
that,
All
that's
right, go
tough.
ahead.
All right, I'll go first. All right. Your opinion, the bestest bassist ever in punk rock, Joe Raposo from RKL and Lagwagon, or Matt Freeman from Up Ivy and Rancid?
All right. So this to me was one of the easiest questions you gave me, because it's Matt Freeman by a landslide.
Oh my God.
Landslide.
You are crazy, dude.
You only even mentioned Joe because you have an addiction that's not healthy and you need to seek help with Lagwagon, because it's one of the 10 bands that you listen to. And that's the only reason you put him in there.
No,
When
dude.
really he's average at best.
Dude, no, you got to listen to an
Best.
RKL. Like, I didn't even
I
know.
don't have to.
You
I
do.
don't have to.
You do.
As soon as you associated somebody with Lagwagon, I knew that it was biased.
No, but it's not.
Biased.
I
But
didn't
even
even.
if I'm not, even if I'm wrong,
Okay.
Freeman
But you're
was
never
around
wrong.
before.
You've never been wrong. This is the first time.
It's true, but Freeman's been around longer. I'm pretty sure.
He hasn't.
I'm pretty sure he's been around.
No, he hasn't. Joe was playing 17 in Europe with that RKL. I'm telling you, bud.
I think Freeman does it better. I think his style's better.
See, and that is the problem too. Is that, like, I don't know if you watch. Like, I want you to go back though and watch like old RKL videos and watch this fucker play, dude. Like, and listen to what he's playing. I don't know. It was like punk rock Primus to me. Like, when I like really started getting into it, I was just like, holy fuck. And that's why I became really obsessed with it. Just like, I like them, I think, better than Lagwagon. And I said it.
No, you said that online. I read that, and I was surprised.
Yeah.
That's a lot coming from you.
I know. You know my love for Lagwagon.
I know you have it.
Yeah, I do.
I don't share it, so
A lot of people don't.
I don't hate Lagwagon. I think they're great. In fact, I think Let's Talk About Feelings is probably in my top 10
Oh,
of
yeah.
that area of punk.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
That's a great album.
And I still love that album, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
to me, it's Matt Freeman, and it's Matt Freeman all day, and it's not even a
All right, all
there's
right, all right. Well, I asked you. That's your answer.
all
Okay.
right.
All right.
So is Johnny Two Bags the coolest guy in punk?
I mean,
That was my original question to ask you for this whole idea for this
I
thing, this
know.
conversation, and I'd like to know if anybody thinks anything different
Well,
because
like
I don't.
if and I once put my name as Jimmy Two Bags Menarchik on Facebook, and like it stuck with me from like weird people for a while. But like with a name like Two Bags, how can't you be the coolest son of a bitch alive?
I don't know. I don't know. I
Like,
mean, he's just
dude, and like guitarist wise, like he's up there.
he's. I never played lead guitar because that's hard
You're
and
right.
requires effort.
That's
But I
why I
did
play
play
bass
rhythm
guitar.
guitar because it
Re-
doesn't as
right.
much.
Requires
But it's
less
just as
effort.
important, and
Yes.
staying on rhythm is just as important. But he's just so casual,
He's,
but doesn't fuck up.
right, dude. He's smooth. Like I don't know. Like that's the best way I can describe him. Is just
His
fucking
style
smooth.
is just all his own. Like nobody is wearing like carpenter wide Dickies pants with a
Uh,
whatever
s-
t-shirt. Like he just the way he
somebody else
dresses.
is. I'm actually wearing it right now.
But you know what I mean?
But no,
He's just
he's his own entity, almost like what is it? Wickersham? Isn't that his last name? Johnny
mhm,
Wickersham. Right. Was he in anything before Social D?
tramps.
Tramps. That's what it was. Okay.
He was in
Okay.
the Cadillac Tramps up until and I don't know the lead singer's name, but until he passed.
I got you. Okay.
He was in the Tramps and he was just and they were awesome.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Uh,
See. I didn't know that he was in it, but
super fun. But he's just a cool guy. He's just got that I'm a huge fan of California bands. I'm not a huge fan of California attitude,
yeah.
if you want to
No.
figure
That's
that one out. But like I'm okay with that.
yeah.
He's just laid back, but still punk as shit.
Yeah. That's it. I don't know. I always refer to like Greg Graffin too. Like, look, like, Bad Religion's like pretty much one of the top, actually, if not the fucking best, greatest punk rock band ever. But like
Sure.
Greg,
I'll argue that's probably true.
yeah, like, but like, would you look at Greg and think he's the lead singer of the greatest punk rock band in the world
No.
ever? No, never ever. Because
Look at anybody besides Jay in that band.
yeah, realistically,
They all look like they should be where I work.
right? Especially
Like
especially with Hetzen gone now too. You know what I mean? That other guy, he wears like scarves and Dimkick. He wears like scarves and shit on stage, man.
yeah,
Yeah, but like, what a show though! Like that
no.
Jamie Miller.
Every time I've seen them has been awesome.
Dude, the
Every
last
time.
I've seen them 7 times, and the last one was the first time I got to see them in a club. Okay, every time it was a festival and shit. And dude, that club show was like, and I almost didn't go. And like, oh my god, I would have killed myself if I'd have missed that because it was incredible. Like just an hour and a half straight of Bad Religion, like crazy. Good
And the
time.
fact that how many punk bands play for that long
Yeah,
outside of Blink, Green Day, like nobody plays that long.
no, dude, and like who's been together 41 years. Yeah,
I don't think
I-
social.
yeah,
I don't know who
that's
else.
what I mean. Like how long
The list is short.
Yeah, very short, man. Very short. All right, we'll keep moving because this is what we said we were gonna do earlier. Remember?
This is exactly what we said we were going to
Yeah, we're gonna nerd the fuck out on this. I'm next, right?
do. Yep.
All right. Who has the better voice, Amy Interrupter or Brody Dale?
That wasn't what the question was.
What was the question? Who would you sleep with?
Who would win in a ska mud wrestling?
Oh, Scott Mud wrestling match. Oh, there it
Amy or
is.
Brody?
Yeah, okay. Let's go with that. A Scott Mud wrestling
I'll
match.
answer both, but I'll answer what you wrote. So Brody was married to Tim when he was an alcoholic.
Yes.
And then that Queens of the Stone Age dude, when they lived in the middle of the Joshua Tree Desert for 10 years before they got divorced. She had 3 kids. It's no contest. Brody would destroy Amy, just absolutely destroy her.
And
And I think Amy's adorable and she has an awesome voice.
she's
but-
too nice.
She's too nice. She was singing on pop
Yeah, dude.
hits before she was in the Interrupters.
and-
Like she's just doesn't. She's in a punk band, but she's.
Dude,
Let's be honest.
yeah, dude, she was like almost stopping the show in Pittsburgh because she's like, saw little kids, like, you know what I mean? Like, going to be like, are you okay? And like, and I think
Right.
that's great. Like, I love to see her heart there. They stood there at the end, like, the whole band got pictures with everybody. Like, they're great. But like, she would get her ass kicked by Brody Dale.
She would get destroyed.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Brody's.
Yeah.
You know.
She's just meaner. And she had to
She's
deal with
just
Tim.
meaner.
Yeah. All right. Shoot.
All right. One music genre phase that you regret getting into. for
Oh,
however brief a period of time it was?
um, there's probably actually two. I was about to say like I was into Nirvana really hard for a little bit, and like
And you regret that?
yeah, because holy fucking depressing, man. Like and you know me, like I don't know. I really try to stay away from depressing things, and like think that that really like you know what I mean. Not that that did it, but I don't think that that helped anything at all at the time. So
Okay.
like so I regret
But do
that.
you like
I like them.
I like Nirvana.
I know I
Like
like
I
them. I just at the time that I got into them, it was like just a bad timing in my life. You know what I
okay.
mean? So I kind of regret of when I like was really deep into them. I guess you would say not like
Mine is
not sexually.
much less deep. And now I feel like my answer is lame, which makes my band choice even lamer. I got into new metal for a
Oh,
God knows what reason.
oh God, I listen to Limp Bizkit. Yeah, I see. Yeah,
Oh, Limp Bizkit, I'll still listen to. I think I still have one of their CDs because
$3
it's
bill, y'all's
hilarious.
good, dude.
It's hysterical.
Yeah.
It's hysterical. But I got into new metal and then but past that, like I think I bought a Taproot album and went to see
Ooh.
them.
Ooh.
Lost Prophets before we found out that the lead singer was a complete dirtbag. Like
Yeah,
really,
you went further than
really
I
got
did.
into it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't long. It was however long that lasted, 3 months or something. But I think I thought about it when you sent me when I typed that up. I was like, why did I get into it? And I'm trying to think it was some very thought provoking, prolific answer. And I don't have one. I think I was just an idiot.
Yeah. Well, like,
I wish I could say something,
that's like the
but there
first
isn't.
couple times I smoked weed. Like I thought I had to go to like Rusted Root shows, and I did. You know what I mean? And like I found out real fast, I'm no hippie, man. Like I am no hippie. I like hippie drugs. I used to maybe, and like
Mhm.
I like the hippie mentality, but and I like some of the music. But me, Jimmy, I am no fucking hippie. Like
I
no,
like some of the music. I went and saw Rusted Root in
I've seen him twice.
outside Jim Thorpe at the Penn's Peak.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh, and I knew one song. I knew the
Send me on my way.
"Send Me on My Way,"
Yeah.
and
I know of one other one, but I can't think of the name right now, so I guess I
"Ecstasy," I think it's
yeah, that's
called.
it, that is what it is.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what it
exactly
is.
why you know it
Nailed
too.
it. Yeah, yeah, shut the fuck up.
But it was fun. I think I actually had a really good time.
I did
I'm really
too.
into the hippie partying in the parking lot thing. Like that made what we did, like sitting on the back of somebody's station wagon having 40s, the way hippies party in a parking
Oh,
lot,
yeah.
that's professional.
Oh, yeah,
Like that is
yeah, they don't fuck around.
no.
Like, no, they're the real deal when it comes to that. Dude, at one Rusted Root show, I watched a 400-pound guy literally spin in circles for an hour and a half. Just spin. I mean, I'm sure he was spinning in other ways, but he
Right?
just stood there and spun. And I was like, "How
But
do
good for him.
no, dude, and it was impressive. It was really impressive. Like the fact that you could even do that is just fucking flabbergasting.
My sister is a huge hippie music fan, and when she was younger was a true hippie. She's mellowed out as she's gotten older too.
Yeah.
But her and her partner, they actually used to go on different tours every year. Like she would sell random stuff, and he would be a security guard at festivals, so they could get a camping spot for free.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
they
yeah.
would quit their jobs, and they would take their daughter, and they would literally that's what they did every summer.
That's fucking
Was they
rad.
went to different stuff, but it was cool. And
That's awesome.
and her and I never really were on the same page musically, but I saw a lot of bands with her or saw a lot of where she would go with pictures and everything. And she always had a great time.
Yeah, no, that
She was like, "Why do you want to stand in a pit full of sweaty dudes?" And I was like, "Why do you want to stand in a field in a 100-degree day with a bunch of smelly dudes?" I
yeah.
feel like we're both around smelly
Yeah,
dudes,
no, you end
just
up
how close we are.
yeah, no, it is. It is. It ends up with smelly dudes all around in the end, no matter what.
That might be
Yeah.
that might be the antithesis of this entire
That
conversation.
might
It
be.
just ends up around smelly
Yeah,
dudes.
I hope I don't wake up like that though. That wouldn't be cool. Not no, I don't like that. Are you next or am I? I don't know.
You're next.
Okay, so the best for you, the best Gimme's album.
Oh, I don't know.
Can you even like? And that's hard for me because I just wrote the answers. They're all the best because like, aren't they all just a genre of music, like a time period? Like,
I wrote down I wrote it down that have they ever made a bad cover? And my answer to that was no, they haven't, but not because every song they've ever covered is good
Right.
because they're not trying to make good covers.
No.
That's not what they're trying to do.
No.
So if you end up getting a good one, which they have,
Oh, absolutely.
like the first half of their Stairway to Heaven cover is god awful, might be the worst minute and a half
Oh.
you're ever going to listen to in your entire life.
But the second half.
But the second half is on point
Yeah.
and fun.
Yeah.
And their doo-wop, they do the doo-wop stuff the best because it translates best to punk, like the you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, absolutely.
that stuff's the easiest to do because it's you don't have to change anything.
No,
You don't have to
dude.
change speed, chord structure. It's just there.
Yeah.
And I think some of their 70s and 80s like rock stuff is fun because there's not a whole lot of work to do. But when they start getting out on the limb, it doesn't matter because if they happen to get away with the gem, it's a win-win, and everybody's gonna be like, yeah, that
So that's just
Gimmy's
like,
cover was great.
yeah, like Take a Break album, like with Ain't No Sunshine, Hello, like those covers are badass, dude. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like those are. But if you ever like covered, like played theirs, like it's the most simple thing to play. It's like playing a Ramon song. Like there's
Right.
no.
The most difficult it gets is when Shiflett tries to actually play.
Yeah, exactly.
When he gets bored and decide he's actually going to play.
Yep. Yeah.
Then it's like, all right, well now we're getting serious.
Yeah, and that's either Shiflett too, because like when
either one.
Yeah, because when I saw him, Scotty was playing guitar, but like for two, like those brothers are insane, man.
There's 3 of them. Did you know that?
Yeah, and isn't he in something too, or he's been?
The older one's not, but he's apparently the best one if you ask the other 2.
That's what. Yeah. Okay, that's what I got at that. He
I
definitely
listen
plays.
to. I'm not a huge podcast guy, but I listen to Walking the Line, and that's Chris's.
Mhm.
Because he has a lot. He's a Southern California guy now. Well, I guess he always was, really, and he has a bunch of punk guys on there. It's a lot of fun. He has all kinds. He had Jade and what's his name from AFI on. He's had just a bunch. He interviewed pretty much all of Social D at one point. But I always look out for those guys that he interviews, and he was talking about his brothers, and he's like our older brother that nobody knows about is the best one, which is scary because Chris is really good. Scott might be better.
Yeah, and if that guy's
if
like,
the older one's better,
yeah, holy shit.
Yeah, like what is better?
Because dude, when I see Face to Face play, like I literally just go stand up in front of Scott and watch Scott fucking rip the whole time. Like I have no interest in anything else. I just want to watch Shiflett fucking burn that bass.
And he's just as good at
guitar.
Yeah,
if not better. Like it's sickening. Like how good.
I think he just was in Face to Face because they needed a bass player and he wanted a gig.
Yep, I agree. And like I don't know if you listen to like the Face to Face bass player before Shiflett and then like what's in there with Shiflett, like what a difference.
Yeah.
Like even the fills.
Well, he changed what that position in that band is.
Oh, absolutely, man. Like
you know what I mean?
Yeah, like they were just holding down the line before, and now like he's just doing his own goddamn thing.
Sure.
I mean, next.
I'm next.
You're next. Go.
True or false? Everyone wants to look like the Ramones, party like the Pistols, and play like the Clash.
Oh, that's true, man. Like who wouldn't? You know,
I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah, like there is no disagreement with whatsoever there. I don't want to die though, like Sid or anything. Like
you don't want to end up shoving or being shoved in a trunk.
No, I'm good with that. I'm a big guy. Well, I used to be. I'm not that big
anymore. Some good movies made about him, though.
I know, but still, like, it's not me. Like, it's just somebody playing me. I'm still dead.
I'm well on my way to looking like Johnny Rotten with this face, so there's that.
You got the best looking face in town, buddy. You always have.
No, not so much.
I don't know. I've seen.
No, I agree. I just.
Well, then you're one hell of a car salesman. We'll just put it that way.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, buddy, I envied it. All right. I
do know that every one of us knows where our leather jackets are.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Whether we wear them anymore or not. I don't wear mine very often, but I know where it's at.
Same.
And there's still all kinds of rusted buttons that have been on there for God knows how long.
I basically turned my winter coat into that now, like just because I'm not wearing a leather coat really, but my winter coat, it definitely has some patches and buttons and shit on it, whatever.
And I'll never get rid of it.
No way, man. No way. All right, you ready?
Yep.
The Bomb Pop Chicks fought in a fight, battle to the death. Who wins?
Easy. Polly, she's sober now.
Yeah.
She's going to kill Jen.
Yeah, no, I agree. Just because she's sober. Jen had a fighting chance when she was a drunk, but not now.
No. Now, when they were both drunks, they probably would have been fine.
Yeah.
And Polly's younger.
I know, a lot younger.
I didn't. I looked it up. I cheated. I had to look that up, but I totally didn't know that she was like 5 years younger. But
Yeah, a lot. All right, go ahead. We're gonna speed this up a little bit.
all right, we're speeding up.
All right.
Um,
I'm
then I'm not going to ask that one question.
o
Save that for the end.
okay.
Does Fat Mike look better in a dress or pants?
See, I totally take Fat Mike from, like, the late '90s, 2000s, like, I like him in a Descendant shirt and fucking shorts and, like, and I don't not like Fat Mike in a dress, like, he's lovely, you know, and every time I've
Mhm.
seen him, he's been in a dress, but I just that era of No Effects is just to me, like, that's the No Effects I love.
If we're talking about music, that's the era of no
But
effects I like too.
I just even like the way they dressed and how they carried themselves.
I liked him back. See, he was a good looking man back then.
Exactly, he's not
He's
so
beat
much.
himself up a little bit. He is not such a good thing
He
anymore.
looks like an old Jewish car salesman.
He's looking a little rough.
Yeah, and
Like I
all
feel like every time he talks, it's like the old Jewish lady in Yonkers. Do you want some more, honey? Like, let me get you a kibbutz on your kibbutz. Like that's what he sounds like. Like he's been tagging 100, 100 Virginia Slims his whole life. And for that reason, I think currently he looks better in a dress because it just makes the whole thing better.
Okay, it's just I'll take it then. All right, all right, all right. Best logo in punk rock: Milo or this Fiend Skull, the Crimson
Mine.
Ghost. I agree. I just don't like the Crimson Ghost because it's everywhere and it's like so trendy now.
I don't mind the Crimson Ghost. I don't like it. So Milo's theirs, right? They drew that.
Yeah, that's supposed to be an actual picture of Milo. Like,
Right.
yeah,
But it's their thing. They came up with it.
yeah.
Crimson Ghost was
Was
a
it
movie from like the
It
40s
was a TV show actually.
or TV show.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
But it was a thing way before this thing.
yeah.
So just based on that,
Right, right,
one's
yeah,
original, one's stolen. So there you go.
yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. I guess I didn't even think of it that way. Look at you, getting all deep. Getting all deep.
Hmm.
Yeah, they went to the gutter.
Um,
Went to the gutter.
you're not that bad.
No,
Little
no.
tippy toe.
Yeah.
So would you rather go to a local show of your friends or local bands, or are you at the point where you want to go to
But
a national show?
uh, like a national show for me, or like go see like Pearl Jam nationally, like a big stadium
No,
show.
like a national show for us. But like
I want to go see a national show for us. Yeah,
okay.
I've been around
Like
like local show. Like, yeah, I want to go see a national show.
like your engineer Nick, his band is playing it wherever on Friday, but Rancid's playing an hour away on Friday.
I'm rancid, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, like there's no doubt.
Sorry, Nick.
Yeah, he'll get over it.
I'm the same way at this point, just because me getting out of the house, night off work, not night off, but like away from work, no kids for whatever reason,
Yeah,
doesn't happen very often. I'm going to the bigger show.
yeah, dude, and just I don't know. And that's like I don't know. That's been part of my problem like this past year too. Like that was like literally my life, and like I think that's why I'm sitting here talking to you and everybody else now. Is like I was so used to even when I didn't have a license. Like I was jumping fucking trains to Chicago by myself. You know what I mean? To meet up with
Hmm.
people I met at the last festival 2 months ago, and like they could stab me. You know, God knows what could happen. But I was going because Riot Fest was there. Like it just like I don't know, but I don't that those concerts do something to me that drugs or anything else just it's just like I don't know. It's like my fucking peaceful land. It's mind clearing almost. It's weird.
For me, that's just I just strive to have little things to look forward to,
Well, that's
and
what I
obviously the
mean.
bigger they don't have to happen a lot. Like I used to be a show junkie. I would go.
Oh,
I've
I
done
am.
4 shows in a weekend. I've
Yeah.
gone to like the Friday night show, the Saturday night show, the Sunday matinee hardcore punk show at a VFW, and then driven 2 hours to Philly to see whoever on Sunday night.
Right.
Nowadays, the last 5 6 years, if I see 3 4 bands a year, or 3 4 sets a year, that's a good year for me. So I'm gonna make the most of them and make sure I'm going to see somebody that I
Right.
really want to see.
I see. I got sick in 2018, and after I got sick, they thought I had lung cancer for like 3 months. So like after that is when that Camp Pumpkin Drublic was announced. So like I wake up in the hospital and open Facebook first time in like a week. Open it up and that's what I find. That was the first thing that popped up was that, and I'm like, look at all these. It was like if I fucking could have built a lineup, that's what the lineup
Right.
I'd have built. I immediately called my buddies like 2 in the morning. I'm like, we are fucking going to this. Like it was gonna be my last hurrah if I really was dying or whatever. And like ever since then, dude, Jared and I have been on such a tear. Like I'm talking 20, 25 national shows a year. Like just gone. Like you know what I mean? Just There was
No, it's
time.
great.
Yeah, dude, and, like, it has been because, like, I didn't get that all the time growing up. Like, went to shows, but not like this. Like, you know what I mean? I never thought I'd see Pennywise 5 times, Bad Religion 6 times, like,
Right.
but it's awesome. Like, it never gets old.
And the bands that you and I like are not getting younger.
No, and that's the part
Um,
too.
the new bands that are coming out, I don't honestly don't know crap about, so I don't have anything to replace them with. So
Right.
like
Same here.
when these tours do happen, I try to make sure that I at least do every effort I can to see them because it's not going to be around forever.
That's what I keep telling him. I'm like, in 10 years, you know what I mean? Is Bad Religion still gonna be here? Like, that, like, you know what I mean? Like, they could be, but
Maybe.
you're right. I mean, I'm not gonna say yes. I'm not gonna say no, but like, you know, there's a chance that it is no. You know what I mean? Like,
No, and at a certain point, like, and I think these guys are getting to the age where they understand what show they're putting out. Like,
right.
are they still going to be able to play those songs? Probably a little slower, but yes. But like, can they play an hour and a half
Well, like,
at that tempo?
yeah, well, like,
Probably not. And that's not a bad thing for, like, it's not a bust on them. Like, you just
no.
hit a point where you can't do it anymore.
Well, like, dude, when I saw Bad Religion at Camp Anarchy in 2019, they were doing, like, I saw them in 2018 in Riot Fest in Chicago. That's when they were doing the Suffer fucking deal. So I watched them play Suffer front to back. Camp Anarchy the next year, they do fucking No Control front to back, which was, you know, that's my favorite. Like, that fucking just
Mhm.
blew me away. But like, I found out that they stopped doing it like 2 shows later because it was just fucking murdering Greg's voice to like, because they were doing a half a set of their good shit and then the full No Control. So like, he was,
Well, you played in a bar bands, like, so you've played for like 2 hours at a
oh, I
clip,
played,
right?
dude, I played 3 hours of punk music, like
Right. So
3
the
hours.
longest I've ever played ever is 45 minutes, and that was half coverage because all our songs were under 2 minutes
Oh,
long. So we literally played 17 songs that were ours and then another 5 or 6 covers.
oh no.
That's the longest I've ever played.
Oh my
And
God, dude.
I was gassed and I was a kid. Like I was in my 20s and I was dead.
Oh, dude, no, you singing for 3 hours, like, oh my God. And like, then you know, you're playing punk music too, and they want you to fill 3 hours. Every fucking song's 2.5 minutes. Like,
Right.
every set, you're fucking throwing down 20, 25 songs. You know what I mean? Like, so I adopted the no effects thing a little bit, and I just started running my mouth. Like, you know, how I got here too. Like, just,
You almost have to
yeah, I had
just to
to.
fill
I
time.
had to, man. I really did. Like, and fucking, oh my God, how impossible. But if you didn't fill 3 hours, you didn't get hired.
Right.
So it is what it is. Is me turn?
Yeah, it's my turn.
I keep doing it.
No, it is your turn.
It is all right. Only 2 more. All right, Descendants are all.
Descendants.
Yeah, hands down, dude. There's just no
Right.
question.
To me, that's easy. Not that all is bad, but
No, but
Descendants.
there's just no question.
Milo Goes to College is up there.
Oh, dude, definitely in the top 5.
Right.
All right.
And also, if you, because you had the distillers question, so I actually ended up listening to the distillers at work yesterday, and I was like, this sounds like something. And then I listened to Hope. If you listen to Hope, when you get done with this, literally play Hope, and then go on and listen to any distillers record, anyone, and then listen to the next distiller song, and then listen to the next distiller song, and you listen to Hope over and over and over again.
It's all the same shit.
It's all the same.
It's
They
Hope.
literally, she must have been. I've never like seen an interview with her, but I have to assume she's just a gigantic. I know Tim is, and he produced that record, so that first record. So maybe that's where it came from. But they just let's listen to it. If you close your eyes, you think for a second you're listening to her.
Oh my
It's
God.
that close.
That's wild.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that is wild.
What was your first national, like your first non-local show? You
Like,
remember?
like my first national, like,
Like your first one that people were gonna like.
oh,
Not
it was
like.
right before, it was a year before No Doubt blew up. I actually saw No Doubt open for the Vandals.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Where was that at?
Oh my God.
West Decatur.
I wish. I wish. That'd have been a shorter drive. I want to say like a Chameleon Club or something like that, or one of those
Okay,
type
that
places.
closed.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's so many places that did close, dude. I don't remember. Like, no.
No, Chameleon just closed last year
Yeah, yeah.
with COVID.
Oh, really?
That was my home spot because I grew up outside of Harrisburg, so Lancaster was 45 minutes. I got kicked out of that place because up until like 10 years ago,
That
you
surprises
couldn't
me.
stage dive. You couldn't stage dive or crowd surf. You weren't allowed. They kicked you out for it. And
Really?
the only bands I was going to see, you were stage diving or
Yeah,
crowd
that's
surfing.
that's. I don't know. If, I like. So one time I went to a show and they had seats, and I'm like, "What the fuck is this? What are these for?" Like you don't have seats at a show.
I saw Every Time I Die
It was the
5 years
Misfits.
ago at the State Theater in State College.
Oh my
Every Time I Die
yeah, yeah,
at the
that
State Theater.
yeah, yeah. Well, like
That
the
was weird.
yeah, the Misfits, dude. I saw the OG lineup in Jersey when they did the first show. Um, $300, and I sat in a seat for $300.
Did it feel weird?
Extremely. I didn't know
Did
what
you have
like.
fun though?
Dude, it was something I never thought I'd ever see, like ever in my life. So yeah,
Right.
I had a good time, but it was very hard to sit in a seat and watch that. Like especially feeling that music. Just I don't know. Like that's the
Mine mine was 97, Shippensburg University, and I saw Bim Scala Bim, the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, and Dropkick on Dropkick's first national tour.
shit.
And I didn't know what I was going to see. A cousin or something was like, "Hey, we got an extra ticket. We're going to see this show. You'll like it." And I went, and it was first time seeing skinheads, first time seeing a real mosh, like a real mosh pit, first time, that whole Boston
Oh
attitude thing.
yeah, dude. I just saw the
It was so
Boston.
much fun.
Oh, I just saw the Bostons for the first time 2 years ago at that Camp Punk and Drublic, and oh my god, dude! Like
They still kill it.
Dude, Ben Carr even like I don't even know how you pay attention to the band with Ben Carr dancing. Like I just watch Ben Carr the whole time. Like that fucking guy is like fuck Flavor Flav, dude. He's the hype man. You know what I
He
mean?
is.
He is.
They have a new song.
Yeah, it's not bad either. I like it.
The song's not bad. The video is horrible.
Yeah, the video sucks.
It
Speaking
came
of
across my feed, and I was like, "You're the Boss Tones. You played fun, light, whatever, and you're out here being fucking Mad Max in this video riding mopeds.
yeah,
Like, this is weird."
speaking of like the Dropkicks, man, they've been really letting it down lately. Their last couple albums have sucked. I've not been real impressed.
I think they're just like
Ken's not even
they.
playing bass anymore.
No, he's just singing, and
Yeah,
I think they found whatever. I don't want to call it niche, but like they're not push. So I like their early stuff.
me
Is my
too.
favorite.
Yeah, same.
But then the stuff that came after that was in the movies and everything are good songs.
Right.
Whether you like them or not, State of Massachusetts,
Shipping up to Boston.
Shipping Up to Boston, those are awesome songs.
Yeah.
But the rest of those albums are a little not as awesome. Whereas like
Well, the State of Massachusetts album's good, man. The Meanest of Times, I think that was the last solid one they had. I think that one's really good. But
I
maybe
mean, when you're talking Skinhead on the MBTA,
well,
and you're talking Lansdowne Street,
yeah,
those are
no, those are
just
solid. Yeah, no, but I'm
those
saying is
those albums are just awesome.
oh yeah, God, yeah. I even like that Al's first album, the with the Fighting 69th and shit on it.
Mhm.
The Gang's All Here. That one,
The Gang's All-
yeah, that one was good because he still had the sound of the old man, but
Mhm.
it was just, but they definitely got more into the
Did you ever listen to the Bruisers,
no, negative.
Al's old band?
No,
Yeah, they're good.
good. I'll check it out. I definitely saw Street Dogs a couple times. What's his face's band? Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
when he's not being a fireman.
yeah, but they were all right. Like, they have a couple good songs.
I think Dropkick is like they have their body of work, right?
Yeah,
And everybody loves that body of work.
so they just
So I'm not saying they're mailing it in, but they're just basically remaking the same thing.
yeah. No, I got
And
you.
you're still gonna get 2,000 or so, 3,000 at a show,
Yeah,
and they're still gonna sell out Boston for a week every St. Patty's Day.
Right.
And
they're gonna sell merch out the ass.
that whole working class Boston thing, it resonates with a lot of people.
Yep.
And they're just gonna
Yeah.
always have that till they choose to stop.
Right.
So
Yeah, like you said, they got their thing. So, all right. Well, you ready for the last one?
yep.
Will there ever be a cooler frontman than Mark Adkins from Guttermouth?
You hurt me.
Now, are you
Yes.
kidding? No way, dude.
There will be.
No way, dude.
There is.
Ew.
And I'm gonna give you the list. It's called Every Other Frontman.
Oh my God, you're the weakest, man. You are the weakest.
The weakest. Because I'm
Oh.
going to refer back to your first question about your unhealthy obsession with a band. And you're a Guttermouth. I remember it was like 2 years ago, and you made such a big deal out of it. You put on social media when you got top fan status on Guttermouth's
yeah,
Facebook
man.
page. And I think it was the first time I had talked to you in like a while, and I trolled you. I was like,
You
"You've
trolled
got
me.
to be kidding me."
That's the only time you talk to me.
I know. And I was
You're
like,
a dick.
I'm a dick.
Yeah,
I
I
know
know.
that. But if I had to pick one, and this is because I'm snotty, but
And a day.
Thomas Barnett from Strike Anywhere. I don't know if you're familiar or have ever
I,
seen a
I
video of him. He is intense. I saw them at the Monroe Township building in outside Carlisle, Pennsylvania,
yeah,
20 years ago.
no shit.
And he blew my mind. I just never seen somebody in punk because they're a little more hardcore.
Uh-huh.
But like I'd never seen someone in punk that engaging and moving around and energetic and all the other stuff.
No, remember I told you I got that Green Day album last night? That
Hmm.
guy, he was showing me his collection, man. He had this Strike Anywhere collection. I'm like, you listen to these guys? Like, I just didn't, expect him. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I saw him open for, I forget for who back in the day. And he's like, I fell in love with them. I'm like, yeah, they're badass. Like,
They're really, really good.
yeah,
They're one of my favorites. If I had
yeah,
to pick they're one of my favorite like mid-level bands. And I've seen them a few times, and every time just he kills it.
yeah. I have not seen them live actually. Well, as oddly enough,
They
but
don't play anymore. They're still
no,
together, but they don't play. They don't have to. They play like the 2-3 show a year thing.
yeah, yeah. If you don't have to, why would you?
But they've all got other gigs or other jobs that they like.
Yeah,
So that's the other thing.
yeah. So you got any more for me?
Yeah,
What
we
you
got
got?
two more
All right.
because I know this is going long for you, but
That's all right. That's why we're here. We knew it was gonna go long.
so these are the deep ones.
Okay.
We are, and people a little older than us would be classified as the first punk generation,
Right.
if you want to call it that. Where as long as we've been alive, there's been punk rock.
Yes.
And you can argue about the 77 or the 83 or whenever it actually started or whatever. But basically, since you and I have been around and 5 years before us, there's been punk rock. And I'm not going to go so far back as like MC5 or Iggy or
Right. Yeah.
Debbie Harry, but like modern punk rock,
Yeah.
Clash, Sex Pistols, the Ramones. We've grown up with it our whole lives, had access to all of it the whole time. But we're like the first ones.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how does that feel?
I think it's,
Like we're not coming into it. It's always been there.
but it's great because like I don't know. I see my dad and stuff. Like you know what I mean. And I talk to him and like all they had, like you know what I mean. If they weren't around it, like they didn't have access to shit. Like I'm like, how are you? Like you know what I mean. I'm always like that. The Misfits, the Ramones. Like you were growing up during this. Like, but how the fuck would he have known? You know what I mean? Like
Right.
he's in the middle of PA. Like you know what I mean. With the radio playing, is playing fucking Kansas Wayward Son. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and that's just like I don't know. It was kind of. I think we're very fortunate, man. Like to have to I don't know, like even the punk rock thing itself, like
I mean, I wonder outside the radio, how did people find out about other bands? I know how you and I found out about it, and it was liner notes. I've never talked to anybody our age that's not how they did it.
right.
You opened up whatever album and you read the liner notes, and the second half was
This is
always
the band.
10 bands
Yep.
that either got them a show somewhere or
You
they
got it.
liked.
Yep.
And then you went out and you indiscriminately went to CD Warehouse or wherever and you bought all 10.
Yep.
You
Or
had no idea what they sounded like and you didn't care.
no. Or you bought the comp.
Hmm.
You know, or you got the comp and that's why you bought the other 10, the other 10 albums off the comp because you were like, oh, that one song's good. They all gotta be. And at that era, they usually were.
Speaking of that, I knew you were gonna bring that up. I went through, I'm still a CD junkie and I go to Goodwill and I buy all the CDs
So do I.
that I can find. State College, by the way, drive up there.
Yeah, dude,
Goodwill,
that
that's by the
CD's
white.
insano.
They have crazy amounts.
Okay.
But I found this for our conversation. I can't tell what the camera
dude,
is.
yeah, no, you see it. This is a funny story. I just bought the whole rack of those Punkorama
Did you?
1 through whatever 9 or 10 for.
This is 8.
Okay, I got 1 through
This-
10 for $10 on
Did
eBay.
you?
Yeah,
I
yep.
paid $3 for this.
Yeah, I got 1 through $10 on eBay last week, literally.
But I was looking at it when I pulled it out before we got on, and I was like, look at the Black Keys, who weirdly ended
Yeah.
up being probably the biggest band on this entire thing,
Right.
are the 15th song on side 1.
Is that is that Warped Tour?
No,
That's
this
just
is
a punk.
Epitaph.
That's okay. Okay.
This is just
Punkorama?
Punkorama.
Okay. Punkorama 8. That have a DVD with it, didn't it?
No, not this version. This is
Okay.
03, and I'm just reading off the back. It's 03, and it's a double CD.
Okay.
I mean, but it's got just this most random stuff.
I'll have to check it out when I get home. I'm gonna look now.
I have to look up. I don't remember the Division of Laura Lee.
Oh my
I
god.
don't remember them.
I don't know. I've never even heard of that.
No, I don't
Yeah.
remember F minus. Do you?
No, no.
I don't remember Pulley.
I do.
Do you?
Yeah, they were on the first Punkorama that I ever got, which was 2.1.
No. Those are the only two. Then they got weird stuff. They got like
Pulley you actually
not
might
weird.
like.
I'm gonna listen to the whole thing.
Yeah, you might like Pulley though. Like just to look into them themselves. Like that's they're good. I like them. But
Anyway,
yeah,
yeah, that's how we found that the free comp that you got sent
yeah,
or looking in liner notes is
yeah,
the only way.
yep. And then the Punkorama CDs also came with a pair of fucking Vans if you bought them. That's how I got mine. Because I was skateboarding because you know that was when Tony Hawk was landing 900s and blah blah
Hmm.
blah and that shit was blowing up. So the music went right along with it. I actually bought this old real quick. I bought this old DVD from like 2003, 2004. You know when the dirt bikes and everything was huge.
Hmm.
Pennywise is playing, dude, and there's fucking dirt bikes doing backflips over them while they're playing. Like I'm like, man, weren't they like concerned if somebody fucked up, like landing on them or like anything like that? But like no, like there's Jim, there's like just right over top of them. I'm like, that's cool shit. I miss shows like that.
I miss Warp Tour.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
No, same here, man. Same here. Like I said, shows like that, like, you know, with all of it.
I loved having the biggest problem of my day was how am I gonna see
All these bands.
is all these bands standing in front of that stupid blown up thing and trying to
Mhm.
like literally with my it was the only time any of us were organized
Yeah.
because we would literally all have out like we writing everything down on somebody had a scrap of paper and we're literally trying to figure out how do I get to this signing that blah 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 is doing and still see 17 bands, 5 of whom are playing at the exact
Exact
same
same
time.
time. Yeah. I know.
And then all right, well when do we think they're going to play this song? Well, they're going to wait till last. Well, they're going to play this song first. All right. So if we go see this band first and then run through 3,000 people, we might get to see them play that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
And it was so much fun. I went to Warped Tour probably every other year the whole time they had it, even when I was into an adult. I took my kids when they were small. I just always went. Just
I
always
only
did.
got to go to one, but the one I did go to was the first place I saw Bad Religion and Flogging Molly, so it was a pretty fucking special one for me. Like,
I think I've been got lucky that everywhere I've lived was in the central and eastern half of Pennsylvania. But it was either in Scranton, Hershey used to have it, or I went to Meriwether Post one year. I went to Philly a couple times, but everything was within 2 hours. So
yeah,
within 2 hours or less, I could get to one every year. They always played. This area of the country is a great place to try and see shows.
right. Well,
Um, one more.
all right, shoot. We're closing her down.
We're closing her down. How jokingly close to home are punk rock stereotypes to you? I'll tell you my point. They're annoyingly close to home now because the internet's amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
And they've
People do.
really got a handle on it.
Yeah.
But it gets really it. I don't know what the kids say these days. It touches a nerve or gets me in the feels or whatever.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Something about feels. Yeah.
yeah,
Like hits him.
the
It hits him in the feels, I think.
the guy with the gray beard standing with his arms crossed in the back of the room,
Yeah.
like fuck you.
Yeah, if I feel like
Like
I feel like Lee Trevino from Happy Gilmore anymore, you know what I mean? Just where fucking all the bad shit's happening, they just pan to him and he's just shaking his head at Happy, you know, like all the bad shit happens. Like I feel like that guy now. Like I'm just standing in the back corner watching all this shit unfold, but I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna let it happen. Cause fuck stopping it, cause it's still kind of funny.
I I don't remember what it was, but I was with somebody who'd never been to a hardcore show or a punk show, and we went and saw the first couple of bands, and it was pretty calm. And then the headliner's about to come on, and I see the sea, and I see everybody getting ready, and I see the kids getting ready to push, and I just back up. And I just back up to where there's a little bit of space, and I see the kids on the side getting ready to dive as soon as the first note hits. And they're like, "What are you doing? You're not gonna be able to." And I'm just like, "Just this is gonna get much different than what you just saw for an hour. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is gonna be a different space, and I just don't want you to get hurt." And I think I actually stood a little bit in front of them and put my arm out because I just knew
Yeah,
what was going to
yeah.
happen. And then, sure as shit, first note, first scream, and it's just a rainbow of bodies. They had set up little trampolines on the edge of the stage so the kids could really vault. And then all of a sudden the kids were on boogie boards
Oh
to
my
ride as
God.
far as they could. And the pit goes from a little circle pit to a horseshoe because the hardcore kids all want to kill each other.
Right.
And all of a sudden it's literally, the Detroit race riots of the 60s in front of us. And I'm like, they're just mouth drops. And they're like, fear. You watch the fear go into someone's eyes. And I'm like, this is
This is us.
what happens.
Yeah, this is what we do.
Did you used to do that? I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
not anymore.
No, 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 no.
It hurts.
Bad for days, But
I think the last time I lost a brand new pair of shoes, we went to some metal show and I came out of the pit piss drunk, not knowing where I was,
I can't
with
imagine
no
that.
shoes. And I'm
You,
standing outside the venue.
you
And
drunk,
I'm like,
not knowing. I just could never see that happening with you.
no, you can never see that happening.
No,
And I was
that's
just
weird.
standing there just confused.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Quick one about losing shoes. The kid we were beside at Camp Anarchy never saw Bad Religion before. Okay, so they're getting ready to come on. It was literally the last three bands of the Sunday. It was awesome. It was Less Than Jake, Bad Religion, No Effects. That was the lineup. So I knew Sunday it was fucking on. Bad Religion's getting ready to come down. I look down. He has sandals on. We're like front row. I'm like, dude, like when this drops, it's over. Oh, I think I'll be all right. I said, dude, like you're gonna lose your feet. Like literally, like you're gonna lose your feet. Jake, I'll bet you they didn't hit 3 notes, and I never saw him again. And I know, he didn't have shoes. I know his feet were ripped up the rest of the time. He got pounced. I was like, kept telling him to get out, but they don't listen.
No.
Yep.
No, everybody that used to, and I was those kids when I was young, this style over substance, showing up to a show. The girls are all dressed to the nines and mini skirts and halter tops and all this other stuff. And then they want to go in the pit. And then you see them getting carried out by security because they're,
Yeah.
half naked, ripped apart. And you see these guys show up and they got their leather on, their studs and their perfect hawk. And you see them walk into their car at the end of the day and hawks drooping wet sitting down in front of their face and their leather jackets drooped over their shoulder because they're completely, I'm like,
Yeah, no.
yeah.
No, dude, we had to stop a show one time because my girlfriend got leveled at the time and got 12 stitches in the back of her head. So I'd go ride with the ambulance with her. So
There you go.
yeah, that's a good time.
And it happens. Like I get that.
Yeah,
I've seen guys in club shows, like little bands, the Purple Moose in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, the Smiling Moose.
I went before they had the upstairs. They used to do shows in the back,
downstairs.
and it was awesome.
Yeah, I used to get
so tight.
Yeah, dude, it was the best. It was a spit.
But I saw a
yeah.
kid come out of there, and his hand, like how your finger is like this, except it was going the other direction.
Oh,
Like his finger was completely broken in every way, and he's like all more IC lights than his body should have had, and he's walking out of there with less teeth than I have, shit-eating grin on his face, like look at it.
I'm missing teeth too. I just hide it well.
There's no hiding this.
Well, mine are all just missing in the back.
Yeah, this is wrestling with the kids, and it went bam.
Really?
Yep, and there it went.
Yeah, that'll do it. But
they're like, we can fix that. It's going to take 3 to 6 months because we got to do this, and this. I'm like, all right, I guess I'll walk around looking like a hockey player.
Yeah, I'm a hockey player, but I'm here to play golf today.
Yeah.
Well, dude, it has been awesome talking to you.
It's been fun, buddy.
Yeah, keep in touch, whatever, continue to troll me as you always do.
It's fun to do.
I know. You always get a kick out of it. Seriously, man, good talking to you. Thanks for coming on.
Talking to you too.
Yeah, and I will catch you soon.
I'll see you later.
All right, man. Take it
Thanks,
easy.
Jimmy.
Thank you. And that was Jake Thompson. That was a little longer of an episode than usual, but I kind of knew that being, just haven't seen a friend and whatever in a long time. Next week, I am not going to tell you who's on here yet because it's really badass, and I'm going to wait for it to happen because my luck, something will blow up in my face, and I'll tell you it's going to happen, and then son of a bitch, it won't. So until next week, you know the drill. You buy the ticket, you take the ride. We'll see ya.